Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB game schedule for Monday, September 19th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com. Of course, I'm always running my $15 MLB best bet. On Sunday, we actually had a huge day on the rundown. Right now, we're 12-2 with the Sunday Night Baseball game pending, and unfortunately, one of those two losses was the MLB best bet. So we look to get back in the green, kind of an unfortunate situation, but still having a good year with those best bets overall. So you can check that out at Pick Dawgz Premium. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday, September 19th. First up, we see an afternoon contest between the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. I got my Twins jersey back on, as a lot of you guys are saying in the comments section. That's the good luck jersey. So, we had a really good day on Sunday on the rundown. Let's wear it again. And, we got the Twins right here with Sonny Gray against Quantrill. And, Sonny Gray, not really the best numbers on the road this season. His ERA only at 3.06, but what concerns me is in 50 innings of work in his road games, only 38 strikeouts. And he's facing a Guardians lineup that doesn't strike out much to begin with. They're very good against right-handed pitching, so that does worry me for Gray's chances here. And I also don't love this Twins bullpen. On the other side, Cal Quantrill's not a starter that I look to back very often. If you guys have watched since the beginning of the season, there hasn't been many games that I've looked to take the Guardians when Quantrill's on the mound, but I got to say, he's a winning pitcher, 12-5 record with that 3.51 ERA. And his last two starts, he's starting to miss some bats, and he's had success against these Twins, facing them quite a few times this season with a 2.77 ERA in 13 innings of work. I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians at a really good price. I think they have the better starter, the better bullpen, and the better lineup. Give me the Guardians on the money line. Next up, we see the Seattle Mariners taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Logan Gilbert and Jose Suarez are your starters. Logan Gilbert, 12-6 with a 3.19 ERA. He's in good form going into this start, starting to miss some more bats in his last 11 innings with 14 strikeouts and only one earned run allowed. And that's against two really good lineups in the White Sox and the Padres, two above 500 teams. So I like to see that from Gilbert. Now you're facing an Angels team that, although they have got good numbers in terms of isolated power against righties, their strikeout percentage is the second highest in the league in the last month at 27.1%. So on the other side, you look at Jose Suarez, a left-handed pitcher. The Mariners' numbers against lefties aren't too bad in the last 30 days, and that's even with the 223 BABIP, which is the lowest in the league right now. So the Mariners are getting a little bit unlucky against lefties in the last month in terms of their BABIP, and they're still producing really good numbers with their isolated power inside the top 10 in the last 30 days, and the team OPS inside the top 15. So I like the Mariners in this game. I think we're getting a good price with them. Give me Seattle on the money line. Next up, we see the Chicago Cubs taking on the Miami Marlins. Wade Miley and Edward Cabrera are your starters. I don't really think money runs are going to be scored in this game. I like the under. We have one of the lower totals on the board, and I think it's for good reason. You look at Wade Miley, a left-handed pitcher, has a 2.89 ERA in limited work this season, but he's looked sharp in his few innings. His last start, 5 innings, 1 earned run against the San Francisco Giants with 5 strikeouts. The previous start, 4 innings, 6 strikeouts against the Reds, and he's facing a Marlins lineup that we know they don't hit lefties. Team OPS ranked dead last in the last 30 days. Strikeout percentage is the 5th highest in the league in that stretch, 26.9%. Isolated power numbers not as bad, but still ranked 26th in the league. So I don't think Miami does much offensively. But on the other side, Edward Cabrera is pitching pretty well for the Fish this season, 5-3 with a 2.7 ERA, coming off a decent start against the Phillies where he went 5 1/3, giving up 2 earned runs. It wasn't the best start, but it was also against a much tougher lineup in my opinion. I think he has a better start against the Cubs in this one. So give me the under in the Cubs-Marlins ballgame. In our next game, we see the Houston Astros taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Drew Rasmussen and Luis Garcia are the starters. Drew Rasmussen at home this season, 6-1 with a 1.97 ERA, a 178 opponent's batting average, only 4 home runs allowed in 64 home innings. And Tampa Bay Rays are hitting righties well. Luis Garcia isn't having the best second half of the season. The home run ball has hurt him quite a bit. He's given up at least 1 home run in 3 of his last 5 starts, including 2 in his most recent game. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays. It's not very often you're going to see the Astros as dogs, and it may be enticing taking that plus money, but I like Tampa Bay in this one on the money line. Next up, we see the Detroit Tigers taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Tyler Alexander and Tyler Wells are your starters. Now, there's not many dogs I like on this Monday card, but the Tigers plus 1.5 is one of them. The Orioles are big-time favorites, and I can understand why, but I do think that this price is a little bit out of hand. When you look at the Orioles against left-handed pitching, who they're going to be facing a lefty in Tyler Alexander, the Orioles haven't done much offensively. 29th in isolated power and 29th in team OPS. The strikeout percentage is also the third highest at 27.6%. So even though Alexander's not really my favorite option, I do think he has the benefit of facing a lineup that's struggling against those lefties. On the other side, Tyler Wells, I don't expect him to go too deep into this game, and it does concern me that he gave up 2 home runs in his most recent start, and that was against the Washington Nationals of all teams. We know the Tigers' offense isn't great, but Wells has given up 2 home runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. That's concerning to me. I think the Tigers compete in this game. I think they score just enough runs to at least cover the run line, maybe even have a shot at winning it outright. So give me the Detroit Tigers plus 1.5 runs. Next up, we see the Atlanta Braves taking on the Washington Nationals, and we're going to see Kyle Wright and Corey Abbott on the mound, and the Braves are big-time favorites here, the biggest favorite on the board at minus 330 on the money line. To me, there's no value in taking the money line or the run line with Atlanta, so I'm just going to take the over. I think the Braves score plenty of runs in this game, but I also think the Nationals can chip in a few on Kyle Wright. Corey Abbott, not a starter that I'm looking to back, and he doesn't really go too deep into games, so we'll see plenty of the Nationals bullpen, which has been pretty good at most parts in the second half of the season, but I still think this Braves lineup is one of the best in baseball. Very powerful lineup, and I do think they can take advantage of that with Corey Abbott giving up 8 home runs in his first 35 innings. The Atlanta Braves, top 10 in team OPS and isolated power in the last month against righties, and they've got good numbers against lefties as well. Give me the over 8.5, pretty high total, but I think we get over it in this Nationals-Braves ball game. In our next game, we see the New York Mets taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Max Scherzer and Corbin Burnes, 2 former Cy Young winners, going at it in this one. So we have a great pitching matchup, 2 guys that are power pitchers, strike out plenty of batters. However, they both are susceptible to the home run ball, and I actually think I'm going to go with a contrarian play on this one and take the over, as Max Scherzer returning from injury. Corbin Burnes not in the best of form. He gave up another 2 home runs in his most recent game. You look at the New York Mets, number 1 in team OPS against righties in the last month, tied with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Brewers, number 5 in the league in isolated power against righties in that stretch. The Mets, one of the lower strikeout rates against righties. Both of these lineups love facing right-handed pitching, and I do think we're going to see some scoring early on. And, even though we don't even need a high-scoring game for this to get over, this total is set so low because of the starting pitchers on the mound. I think this total could even go down to 6.5 by the start of the game, but I'm going to take the over in this Mets-Brewers game. A little bit of a contrarian play here. Next up, we see the San Francisco Giants taking on the Colorado Rockies. We're going to see Jacob Junis and Chad Cole as your starters. Now, Chad Cole's not been in great form in the second half of the year. His ERA now above 5 on the season. However, neither is Jacob Junis. His ERA now above 4. And, the San Francisco Giants have not hit righties very well. And the Colorado Rockies play their best ball at home, where they've got a 40-34 record, 6 games above 500. The Giants 30-41 on the road. And the Giants played on Sunday Night Baseball, which has been a pretty good fade this season and in years past. When you see a team playing Sunday Night Baseball, usually the under and fading against them in terms of the money line is actually a pretty good bet. And now you have to go to Coors Field and adjust to a completely different altitude. I don't love the Giants' chances. I don't think they should be favored in this game at all. I really don't even understand it. The Rockies have been so good at Coors and a very profitable team at home this season. Give me the Colorado Rockies plus money on the money line. And in our final game of the night, we see the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Merrill Kelly on the mound for the D-backs. No official starter, so no official line for the Dodgers in this game. This has got to be my least favorite game on the board because we don't have a lot of information, and it's a bummer to see the final game be that way. But instead of just skipping over this game altogether or giving a pass, I figured I'd talk about it a little bit. Merrill Kelly's having a good season, 3.01 ERA. However, the Dodgers have been his kryptonite, 8.5 ERA this season against LA in 18 innings of work, 17 earned runs. It's tough to back him, even though he's been so good. And the Diamondbacks have been so good as a run line dog. I don't know if I can get there with Kelly with those kind of numbers against LA. His last start against them wasn't great either. So right now I'm leaning towards the Dodgers on the money line. We'll see if the price is a little bit too out of hand, but more than likely I'll be passing on this game altogether. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday, September 19th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.